Most folks don't think twice about the buildings they walk by every day, but me? I see those things, and I think about the hands that built them, the grit, the sweat, the sheer guts it takes to wrangle steel and concrete into submission. One minute, you're pouring concrete, the next you're running for your life. Thanks to security cameras, dash cams, and smartphones, we get a front row seat to the chaos. Picture this. It's the dead of winter in New York City. The streets are blanketed in a thick layer of snow, and the air is crisp and biting. The city that never sleeps is momentarily hushed by the cold, with only the occasional car passing by, leaving tracks in the fresh snow. The wind's howling, and most folks are still in bed. The gusts whip around corners, making eerie sounds as they pass through the narrow alleys and between the towering buildings. It's a morning where you'd rather stay under the covers, sipping a hot cup of coffee. But not on this construction site. Here, the day starts early, no matter the weather. Workers bundle up in heavy coats and gloves, their breath visible in the frigid air as they prepare for another day of hard labor. They've got a skyscraper to build. This isn't just any building, it's a symbol of progress, a testament to human ingenuity and determination. Each floor that rises is a step closer to completing a new landmark in the city's iconic skyline. 600 feet of steel and cable, meticulously planned and executed. Every beam, every cable, every bolt has its place in this intricate puzzle. The workers move with precision, knowing that any mistake could have dire consequences, holding tons of material high above the city streets. The crane, a marvel of modern engineering, lifts massive loads with ease, its arm extending like a giant mechanical limb. From the ground, it looks almost graceful, a ballet of steel and machinery. The wind picks up, and the whole thing starts to sway. What was once a gentle dance becomes a dangerous game of balance. The workers below watch with bated breath, knowing that the wind is a force to be reckoned with. The crane, unable to fight the wind any longer, just tips. In a matter of seconds, the situation goes from tense to catastrophic. The massive structure crashes down, sending debris flying and causing chaos on the ground. A few crucial bolts meant to anchor the crane were never properly secured. These small pieces of metal, overlooked in the rush to meet deadlines, become the weak link in the chain. Their failure sets off a chain reaction, leading to the collapse. Emergency responders rush to the scene, their sirens piercing the cold morning air. They work tirelessly to rescue those trapped, and to secure the area, ensuring no further harm comes to the already shaken city. News reporters arrive, broadcasting the tragic event to the world. Onlookers gather, their faces a mix of shock and sorrow. The city, once bustling with life, now stands still, united in grief and disbelief. Investigators comb through the wreckage, piecing together the events that led to the collapse. Each fragment of metal, each broken beam, tells a story of what went wrong. Their findings will be crucial in preventing such a disaster from happening again. In the days that follow, a memorial is set up for the victims. Flowers and candles line the site, a somber reminder of the lives lost and the fragility of human endeavors. The city mourns, but it also begins to heal, determined to rise from the ashes stronger than before. Demolition is controlled chaos. This building in South America, it was a big one. Multi-story concrete and steel. The engineers had it all mapped out. But as the charges detonate, the building starts to tip. It goes over sideways like a giant falling tree. Turns out someone miscalculated the weight distribution. Forgetting the fundamentals can be catastrophic. I've worked my share of heights. When you're up on a skyscraper, it's the scaffolding that gives you that sense of security. These guys were high up, bolting on panels. One of the workers had a body cam running. The scaffolding gives way beneath them. The camera captures the dizzying descent. The investigation showed the scaffolding hadn't been properly inspected. Rusted joints, missing braces, shortcuts taken in the name of progress. Everyone knows concrete. It's the backbone of modern construction, used in everything from skyscrapers to sidewalks. But what most people don't realize is the kind of pressure that goes into making it. Inside a cement mixer, raw materials like sand, gravel, and water are combined with cement to form concrete. This process involves a lot of mechanical force and pressure to ensure the mixture is just right. This crew in Houston was doing a routine pour. It was a typical day on the job, with workers going about their tasks, unaware of the impending danger. Suddenly, a strange high-pitched whine came from the mixer truck. It was an unusual sound, one that immediately caught the attention of the crew. The workers sensed something was wrong and instinctively backed away. Their training kicked in, and they knew that when machinery makes unexpected noises, it's best to keep a safe distance. Moments later, the mixer drum exploded, sending chunks of steel and wet concrete flying in all directions. The force of the blast was tremendous, and debris scattered across the site. It turns out a pressure valve on the mixer had failed. This small component, often overlooked, was crucial in maintaining the balance of pressure within the drum. Even the most routine jobs can turn dangerous if you don't respect the power of the tools you're using. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the importance of regular maintenance and safety checks. Always be vigilant, and never underestimate the potential hazards on a construction site. Bridges, overpasses, they connect us all. This overpass in India was meant to be a symbol of progress, but it became a tragic example of what happens when deadlines trump safety. The entire structure just buckles. It folds in half, sending concrete and steel crashing down. The investigation revealed the concrete hadn't cured properly. They'd rushed the process, cut corners to meet deadlines. You can't cut corners when you're talking about people's lives. In construction, it ain't always a mechanical failure that causes an accident. Sometimes it's the human element. This young guy was working on a rooftop. His buddy had a GoPro strapped to his helmet. The guy with the GoPro sees his buddy stepping backwards and disappearing. No safety harness, no guardrail, nothing to break his fall. He'd been working a double shift and simply forgot to clip onto the safety line. Complacency can be deadly. Working underground? It's a different world. These guys in China were building a subway tunnel. The CCTV footage shows the rhythm of the work. Then, without warning, the tunnel turns into a raging river. A water main had ruptured, sweeping away equipment and men. The cameras capture the chaos, the scramble for higher ground. Most of them managed to escape. It's a stark reminder of the unforgiving nature of working underground. Tunnel boring machines are marvels of engineering. This particular machine in Europe was tasked with boring a new train tunnel, but something went wrong. A pedestrian was filming the construction. The machine suddenly veered off, bursting through the concrete wall of an underground parking garage. It turns out there'd been a miscalculation, a faulty GPS signal. That multi-million-dollar machine had gone off course. Even with the best laid plans, sometimes things just go wrong. These guys were using a massive floating crane to build a bridge. The crane, a marvel of modern engineering, was designed to handle enormous loads and perform tasks that would be impossible for smaller equipment. It was a crucial part of the construction process, enabling the workers to lift and place heavy sections of the bridge with precision and efficiency. The barge, acting as a floating platform, provided the necessary stability and mobility to position the crane exactly where it was needed. This setup allowed the construction team to work in challenging environments such as overwater, where traditional cranes would be impractical or impossible to use. Balancing a crane on a barge, then using it to lift and place huge sections of a bridge, that's walking a tightrope. The precision required to operate such a setup is immense. Every movement of the crane must be carefully calculated to ensure that the barge remains stable and the load is safely handled. The operators are highly skilled professionals who undergo extensive training to master the complexities of this equipment. They must constantly monitor the crane's position, the weight of the load, and the conditions of the environment to prevent accidents and ensure the safety of everyone on the site. The wind was picking up that day. Strong gusts can create additional challenges for crane operators, as they can cause the load to sway and the barge to shift. The team had to be extra vigilant, adjusting their plans and movements to account for the changing conditions. Wind can be unpredictable, and even a slight increase in speed can have significant effects on the stability of the crane and the safety of the operation. The workers were well aware of these risks and took every precaution to minimize them, but sometimes nature has its own plans. They pushed on, eager to get the job done. The construction team was determined to meet their deadlines and complete the project on time. They worked tirelessly, often under difficult conditions, to ensure that every aspect of the bridge was built to the highest standards. Their dedication and perseverance were evident in every task they undertook, from the smallest detail to the largest lift. Despite the challenges they faced, they remained focused and committed to their goal, knowing that their hard work would result in a structure that would stand the test of time. As they lift another massive section of the bridge, the crane starts to tip. The load was heavier than anticipated and the shifting wind added to the instability. The operators tried to correct the imbalance, but it was too late. The crane's center of gravity had shifted too far, and the barge could no longer support the weight. The team watched in horror as the crane began to lean dangerously to one side, knowing that there was nothing they could do to stop it. The crane, overloaded and off balance, tips over the edge of the barge. The massive machine, once a symbol of strength and precision, now became a helpless giant, succumbing to the forces of gravity and nature. The sound of metal creaking and water splashing filled the air as the crane plunged into the water. The team could only watch as their hard work and careful planning were undone in an instant. It was a sobering reminder of the risks and challenges inherent in their line of work. It crashes into the water with a force that must have registered on a Richter scale. The impact was tremendous, sending waves rippling across the surface and creating a plume of spray that reached high into the air. The crane, now partially submerged, lay in the water like a fallen titan. The team quickly assessed the situation, ensuring that everyone was safe and accounted for. They knew that recovering the crane and resuming work would be a monumental task, but their resolve remained unshaken. The footage is a stark reminder that water and heavy machinery don't mix well. The incident served as a powerful lesson in the importance of safety and preparation. The team reviewed their procedures and made adjustments to prevent similar accidents in the future. They understood that while they could not control the elements, they could control their response and readiness. The experience, though challenging, ultimately made them stronger and more resilient, reinforcing their commitment to excellence in their work. Window washers do a job most of us wouldn't even consider. These two guys in Chicago were just doing their job. But then, the wind hit. The platform they were on turned into a terrifying carnival ride. The footage shows the platform swinging wildly. The platform slams into the side of the building, glass shatters. The fire department arrives and manages to pull those window washers to safety. It highlights the hidden dangers of a job that most of us take for granted. 10 stories. 10 moments captured on camera that show just how quickly things can go wrong in the world of construction. From collapsing cranes to exploding cement mixers, these incidents remind us of the risks these men and women take every day. Respect the risks they take, appreciate the skills they possess, and never forget the importance of safety. If you found this video eye-opening, hit that subscribe button and share it with your friends.